And what is God in your understanding?
In my understanding, God is the creator, the maker of everything, including our universe, time, space, matter, the visible and invisible, our DNA, humans, and human life. That's the first thing. Secondly, that's Jesus Christ.
Is Jesus Christ also the creator of everything?
Yes, he also took part in it. Everything was created through the Word.
So it's Jesus Christ who created everything.
Well, look, I'll explain.
I'm listening.
In the book of Genesis, when the story of the creation is described,
May I interrupt you? I'll share my thought. I think that God, this universe, is intelligent, and that is God. Everything that exists, everything that is material and immaterial, that is God.
very interesting. It doesn't work with God as the creator. Because, for example, right now there's the Big Bang Theory.
Well, okay, why did God create people?
You're jumping straight to the point. That's a very good question.
No? Well, I understand you, that this is how you see it, that this is the kind of God you believe in. I understand. Now I'm asking, why did God or Jesus Christ create people?
And do you believe that?
I'm a Christian.
Well, okay. Do you believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ?
Well, yes.
Well, then that's great.
Well, I have my doubts, you know, that's a Gnostic.
Well, having doubts is normal. I wouldn't say that's being a Gnostic.
Well, maybe I'm confusing some terms. Maybe I didn't express myself correctly.
Skeptic, yes.
Well, a skeptic, yes. Like anyone else, I need some kind of proof, you understand?
Well, proof of what? So, let's talk about the biggest proofs that interest you.
Well, I definitely understand that I didn't create myself, and people didn't create themselves either. That's something I clearly understand.
So, there is a creator God.
Of course there is. I'm sure of it.
Then what's the question? Where exactly is it needed?
No, the second question. Why were we created? For what purpose?
Okay, let me expand on that question a bit, because if you just say it in one phrase, people don't take it seriously, but it's actually a very serious question.
Well, of course.
So, for example, let's start with the fact that we are created in a certain way in the image and likeness of God.
Well, those are just words, but how should we understand them correctly? It doesn't mean that God stood there and drew us the way he sees himself. You know, if you think about it that way, maybe a person 3,000 years ago could have thought, yes, God made us like himself, sculpted us out of something. But that's not the case, right? Alternatively, we might consider our rational human consciousness.
You know yourself, I can just confirm what you're saying, that he's not some old man with a beard, he's a spiritual being. So what does it mean in his image and likeness? What is meant is that God is love, and we have love, a likeness of love. God is universal, the universal mind, and we have some kind of mind, a likeness of mind. He is light, power, and righteousness, and so on. We have some likenesses of these. It's like a glove.
But why would such an all-powerful consciousness and mind create us? For what purpose?
But there are many possible answers. But it's very important to understand that we have a likeness of him.
Well, yes.
Now, we're talking about the fact that all life requires propagation.
Well, yes. The goal of all living things is to spread.
This applies to God as well. God has life. It is different from human life.
Well, I hope it's different.
I'm sure of it. And it wants to spread. And it is precisely because we are created in the image and likeness of God that we can become carriers of this life. Again, for example, a glove is made in the image of a hand, but it can be empty. A person is empty. He might be filled with politics or some kind of activism or even good things. He might even be filled with those. But he could be filled with God. And this is exactly where the key changes begin. When we can be filled.
Tell me, please, where will this powerful and all-creating mind spread to? Where will it spread to? What is beyond it?
Beyond the self.
Where would it spread if it is all of this?
Everything, but we don't have it within us, you see? Well, I'm not talking about you and me. I'm talking about, for example, a person who is an atheist. In him there is neither thought nor light nor the love of God. There is nothing in him. He may be a good person filled with good things, but the life of God is not in him. He has human life in him, but there is no divine life in him.
Do you consider, for example, that the church is specifically the representative of God on earth, or the conduit of divine ideas on earth? The church.
It is you and me. We are the conduits.
That is, I don't consider the church. I mean as an institution, the church that exists.
Do you mean the hierarchy?
Well, yes, that it has some relation to faith in God, but mostly it's just people like us there. And they think that they can somehow influence other people and control other people, you know?
I absolutely agree.
That's how it seems.
Not just that. You are repeating the argument of the disciples when they were walking and arguing, dividing up the portfolios among themselves.
No, well, I haven't read the Bible.
So let me tell you. Basically, they're walking along. There's an argument among them about who is more important. Jesus calls them over and says, "You're getting it wrong. The kingdom you see in this world is different from my kingdom. In my kingdom, to be first, you must serve everyone. And I came not for you to serve me, but for me to serve you." He dies for them. He washes their feet. He feeds them. They are simply the grateful recipients of absolutely everything that he consistently does for them.
Well, you have to understand, to be honest, there are very few people who live for others in reality in the world. I'm not like that, I'll tell you right away.
I'm not like that, but Jesus Christ is. So when someone says I'm like that, I just smile to myself. Usually it's atheists who say things like we're so good and so on. I'm not like that. I need Christ, and it's Christ in me who can truly care for someone. I can pretend, but I consider that hypocrisy. That's why I need Christ. That Christ, he cares for others. He serves others. He doesn't show off, just like Jesus at the Last Supper. He took off his garments. He knelt before the disciples and began to wash their feet like a servant or a slave, and there was nothing shameful about it. For me, that's humiliating. But Jesus Christ, as we said, he enters into us like a glove, feeling us. We have a semblance of love, but he can feel us with real love. And then he kind of begins to act through us, and then we really can quietly take care of someone without making it public, without showing off to anyone. Because there is none of my own glory in this. It's simply Jesus Christ caring through me for someone.
Well, I agree with these points, of course. That it is like that, probably that's how it is.
Yes.
Because then, what's the point of all this?